Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome to Gita Pravaha sessions. Today we'll begin the 14th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. So far we discussed the first 13 chapters. Especially in the 13th chapter, Krishna gives definitions and explanations of 6 important terms: Prakriti, Purusha, Kshetra, Kshetrajna, and Gnanam, Gneyam. So Prakriti is the material nature, and material nature has 3 qualities. In Sanskrit, they are called gunas. The 3 qualities of material nature, or 3 modes of material nature, or 3 gunas of Prakriti are Sattvagun, Rajogun, Tamogun. So now Krishna gives a deep explanation of these 3 gunas very elaborately. We will see that. And in the 14th chapter, Krishna begins to give an explanation of these 3 gunas. But in the later chapters also, this discussion continues. In fact, Krishna started speaking about gunas right in the 2nd chapter only. Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna. Krishna said the Vedas prominently talk about the 3 gunas: Sattvagun, Rajogun, Tamogun. Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna. You just transcend these 3 material modes. Krishna said that already. And later also he spoke about gunas here and there. But now in the 14th chapter he is elaborately giving a description of the 3 gunas. Let's begin with the first shloka. Shri Bhagavan Param Bhuyah Pravakshami Gnananam Gnanamuttamam Yajnatva Manayah Sarve Param Siddhimito Gataha Param Bhuyah Pravakshyami. Krishna says, "Oh Arjuna, I am going to reveal a great secret to you, great knowledge to you." Pravakshyami means I will speak. Gnananam Gnanamuttamam means this is Uttama Gnana. What is Uttama? Tama means ignorance, darkness. Uttama means that which is beyond darkness, beyond ignorance. So he is giving us Uttama Gnana, means a transcendental knowledge. And or that knowledge that takes you above Tama, above Tamas. So there are 3 gunas, right? Sattvagun, Rajogun, Tamogun. If we understand this knowledge that Krishna gives in the 14th chapter, we will transcend the Tamogun. What to speak of Rajogun and Sattvagun? We will transcend the Tamogun also, the material mode of ignorance. And Uttama can also mean best knowledge. Yajnatva manayah sarve param siddhimito gataha. By receiving such knowledge, many great munis, munayah sarve, param siddhim, they attain divine perfection. So many people have attained perfection by acquiring this knowledge about the 3 gunas. You also hear. Now, Krishna further says, Idam jnanam upashritya mama sadharmyavagataha sarge pinopajayante pralayena vyathanti cha. Idam jnanam upashritya. Jnana means this knowledge. Upashritya means by taking shelter of this knowledge. By taking shelter of this knowledge, what happens? 1. Mama sadharmyamagataha. One will attain same nature as Krishna. Mama means mine. Sadharmi means my same nature or my same abode or my similar spiritual nature. One will attain. Then sargepi nopajayante pralaye na vyathanti cha. Sarga means creation or birth. Pralaya means destruction or death. So one who acquires knowledge about the 3 modes, he will transcend Sarga and Pralaya means he will transcend birth and death. They will come out of the cycle of birth and death. They will not experience the pain of death. They don't have to take birth again at the time of universal creation. So that's the power of acquiring this knowledge. Krishna is first revealing the glory of the knowledge that he's about to reveal. Third shloka onwards he begins. Mama yonirmahad brahma tasmin garbham dadamyaham sambhavah sarvabhutanam tato bhavati bharata. In this shloka, Krishna says that he impregnates the material nature. Material nature is nothing but Krishna's energy, feminine in nature. The feminine potency of the Lord, material potency of the Lord. And the Lord is the one who impregnates that material nature. And what is that impregnation? He impregnates the jivas into the womb of material nature, just like a father impregnates the womb of a mother. Similarly, the Supreme Lord infuses all the jivas, releases all the jivas who are his parts and parcels into the womb of material nature. In short, when Mahavishnu breathes out, when Karanodaka Sai Vishnu, who is also called Mahavishnu, breathes out while lying on the causal ocean, millions of Brahmandas come out. All these Brahmandas are nothing but Prakriti. They are manifestations of Krishna's material nature. And Lord uh, just releases all the jivas who are lying within his body into these universes. Right? So the jivas who were not liberated in the previous creation, they merge in back into Mahavishnu's body. And when Mahavishnu breathes out, then the next creation begins. All the Brahmandas will come into existence, and Jivas also enter these Brahmandas. That's how Krishna is impregnating the Prakriti. Next, fourth sloka. Okay, we have seen all this. Fourth. Sarvayonishu kaunteya murtayah sambhavanti yaha tasam brahma mahadyanir aham bijapradah pitah. Sarvayonishu kaunteya. All different yonis means different kinds of species. Human beings, devatas, animals, birds, aquatics. These are different kinds of yonis, species. Murtaya sambhavantiyaha tasam brahma mahadyonir. So that prakriti or that material nature is the uh, source of the bodies of these living beings. Just like the seed of a child is given by the father, and within the mother's womb, the body of the child is developed. Similarly, soul comes from Krishna, and the material nature provides body for that soul. Sarvayonishu kaunteya murtayah sambhavantiyaha. All the species of life are made possible by birth in this material nature, which is like mother. And aham bija pradah pitah, I am the father. Bija pradaha means one who gives seed. I am the seed giving father of all species. So soul is an amsha of Krishna, and the body in which the soul exists is an amsha of the material nature. Now, once this pure jiva enters this material nature, that jiva is affected or entangled by the three material modes. What are those three material modes? Krishna says in the fifth shloka. Sattvam rajastama iti gunaha prakriti sambhavaha. Sattvam rajastama iti gunaha prakriti sambhavaha nibaddhananti mahabaho dehe dehinamavyayam. Sattvam, the mode of goodness. Rajas, passion. Tama, ignorance. Gunaha prakriti sambhavaha. All these three gunas are prakriti sambhava. They manifested from prakriti, material nature. What do? Nibaddhananti mahabaho. They bind him. They bind him. Dehe dehinamavyayam. They bind the living entity in a material body. Deha is body. Dehi is the living entity who is inside the body. So the Dehi is being bound in the Deha. The soul is being bound in the body. That's what the Sattvarajas Tamogunas do. Next shloka, sixth shloka. Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat prakashakamanayam sukhasangena badhnati jnanasangena chanagha. In the next three shlokas, Krishna describes how Sattvaguna binds him. how Rajoguna binds the conditioned soul and how Tamoguna binds the conditioned soul. First, he begins with Sattva-guna. He says, Tatra Sattvam Nirmalatvat. Sattva-guna is the best of all. And Sattva-guna is Nirmala. Mala means contamination. Nirmala means no contamination. Sattva-guna is free from any contamination. Prakashakamanayam. It's illuminating. Sukha Sange, but although it is illuminating, although it is devoid of any contamination, still, and although it is a source of Sukha, happiness, Jnana, knowledge, but Sukha Sangena Badhanati, the conditioned soul is bound by happiness when he is in Sattvagun. The conditioned soul is bound by knowledge when he is influenced by Sattvagun. So even Sattvagun also binds. After all, Sattvagun is also material mode. I often give this example. Whether you are traveling in an AC compartment or general compartment or sleeper compartment, you are in the same train. You will reach the destination the same way. But AC compartment may be little cleaner and it may be in quote unquote good of mode of goodness in one sense compared to the other two modes of transport. So, but Sukha and Jnana, which are products of Sattva, can also bind people. People may be overly attached to or addicted to that material happiness. People may be always on a knowledge platform. We need to transcend that platform of material Sukha and material Jnana to spiritual happiness in the service of Krishna and acquiring spiritual knowledge of Krishna's Nama Rupa Guna Lila. Right? So, but even mode of goodness also binds. What about Rajogun? How does Rajogun bind people? Sattvagun binds people with Sukha and Jnana, happiness and knowledge, but Rajogun binds in a different way. Sattvam, oh sorry, fifth is over. Sattva is over. Sorry, they are like two elaborate slides. Seventh shloka we are supposed to do. Now you see there are different colors. This Sattvagun, Rajogun, Tamogun, these three influence people, and not that a person is influenced only by one guna. People are influenced by multiple gunas. Some people are predominantly in Sattvagun, but there is an element of Rajogun and Tamogun also in them. Some people are predominantly in Tamogun, and Rajogun also influences them to some degree, and Sattvagun also sometimes they may show. Like that, these three modes combine with each other. Like in a TV screen, there is RGB colors or CMYK colors. They keep combining with each other and producing so many other colors. While painting Vrindavan Bihari's face, we use different colors, watercolors, or a DT. So, say we need light green. We don't have light green. So what we'll do is we take the dark green and we add some little yellow color in it or some white color in it. It becomes lighter. Right? So when you mix two colors, a new color will come, which is a product which has some elements of both these colors. Like that, there are three modes. These three modes combine with each other and there will be 9 formations or 81 formations. Like that they keep on multiplying. 9, 81, 81 into 81, whatever is the number. I don't have the math now. So they keep on producing hundreds and thousands of varieties of, of people, natures, places, products, mindsets, desires, all these are products of the combinations of three material modes. These three material modes bind is like ropes. Ropes bind people, right? You see, this is a very graphic picture. These are like presiding deities of three gunas in one sense, and people are being controlled by these three material modes, right? We have seen how sattva binds people. Now let's see how rajas binds people. I don't have the shlokas here. I will see the book and recite. Seventh shloka. Rajo ragatmakam vidhi trishna sanga samudbhavam tannibadhnati kaunteya karma sangena dehinam. Rajo ragatmakam vidhi. We have seen sattvaguna's qualities are sukha and gnana, happiness and knowledge. What about rajas? Rajo ragatmakam vidhi. There is a lot of raga, means desire. Trishna sanga samudbhavam. Trishna means a lot of hankering, ambition, longing. I want to attain this. That is like rajogun, passion. Sanga samudbhavam, lot of attachment to everything. You have desires, attachment, hankering, ambition, longing, and karma sangera dehinam tannibadhanati kaunteya karma sangera dehinam. Because you have so much of longing and desires, you do a lot of karma, lot of fruitive actions. Your activities are not like selfless, calm, regulated activities in passion. They are very ambitious activities. You want to attain big, big things. Of course, we can always be ambitious to serve Krishna, but Rajogani people, they are ambitious to acquire a lot of wealth, money, prestige, uh, or lead something. They are not satisfied with what they have. They keep on acquiring more and more and more. So this is all Rajogun, passion, right? And this passion is also characterized by attraction between men and women. When passion increases, their hankering for material enjoyment increases, and that produces so many things that entangle them only. Then eighth shloka, Krishna talks about tamogun. Tamastvajnanajam vidhi mohanam sarvadehinam प्रमादालस्य निद्राभिः तन्निबध्नाति भारत तमस्तु अज्ञानजं विद्धि. This tamas or mode of ignorance that is born out of tamas is mode of darkness. Tamas means darkness. That is born out of ajnanajam. Ajnana means ignorance. Tamas means darkness. Many times we equate both. Literally, tamas is darkness. So this mode of darkness is born from ajnana, ignorance. Right? What does it do? Mohanam sarvadehinam. It completely deludes people, confuses people, puts them in bewilderment, confusion. Pramada alasya nidrabhi. Pramada means people are very mad. Tamoguni people, they're very mad. Alasya, very lazy. Nidrabhi, they're sleeping always, right? They're not very active. So these are the qualities of tamogun. In short, Krishna gives a summary. Goodness conditions one to happiness, and passion conditions us to fruitive action, karma, and ignorance. Tamogun conditions us to madness, laziness, sleepiness. Sleeping is not wrong, you can sleep, but we can't perpetually sleep forever. There is a limit to which we can indulge ourselves in these things. Now, in the next few shlokas, 10th shloka till 13th shloka, Krishna talks about how does a person behave when uh, one mode increases more than other modes, because there's a constant competition happening between these modes. Sometimes goodness becomes prominent and passion and ignorance are taking a low profile. Sometimes Rajogun defeats Sattvagun and Tamogun. Sometimes Tamogun becomes more prominent than Sattvagun and Rajogun. Like that, these modes constantly appear and disappear. They keep competing with each other. For example, this is early in the morning in India. This is a mode of goodness. The atmosphere is very pleasant, calm, not so hot, and people also are very calm and composed. They're more prayerful. This is the time where people chant their rounds, read some Bhagavatam, speak some spiritual subject matters and positive subject matters. Right? This time is in Sattvagun. Passion is subdued here, and ignorance is subdued here. But during the daytime, when like it becomes 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, passion increases during the daytime. Then nighttime, ignorance increases. People become sleepy like that. So these are like three. Even times are influenced by mode of different modes. Even not only times, even places are also influenced by different modes. Like a temple. Temple is actually beyond modes. Say a peaceful garden is in Sattvagun, and a busy city is in Rajogun, and some unmentionable places like where meat is being eaten, or people are killing animals and many other cruel activities, bad things are happening, that is in Tamogun, ignorance. Right? These are like three levels of places also. When goodness increases, now let me try to see if the shloka is there on the slide. So Krishna beautifully says that when goodness increases, how does a person behave? When goodness increases, how does people act, and uh, uh, and what do they do? Let me just see. Yeah, yes, I have the shloka here. सर्वद्वारेषु देहेऽस्मिन् प्रकाश उपजायते ज्ञानं यदा तदा विद्या ज्ञानं यदा तदा विद्यात् विवृद्धं सत्त्वमित्युत. Vivriddham sattva means when sattva increases, when sattva guna manifests, what happens? Jnanam yada tada vidyat. One can experience knowledge. And sarvadvareshu dehesmin prakashopajayate means all the dwaras, all the gates of body are illuminated by knowledge. See, jnana is knowledge. Prakasha means illumination. Dvarashu deha means nine gates of the body. There are nine gates of the body, everybody knows, like nine holes of the body. Eyes are there, nose and ears and mouth and other parts of the body. Now, Krishna says all the gates of the body are illuminated with knowledge. What does it mean? Eyes are illuminated, some kind of shine comes from the eyes, or some shine comes from the ears, nose and mouth. So all the holes of the body are illuminated with knowledge. The answer is we use these holes, we use these gates of the body to experience various sense objects. We see with our eyes, we hear with our ears, we smell with our nostrils, right? We eat with our mouth, right? All these gates of the body are meant to give us some kind of pleasures. Senses are interacting with sense objects, we get some pleasure. But Krishna says all the gates of the body are illuminated with knowledge. What does it mean? We will use all these gates of the body wisely. We will not use our eyes to see something bad. We will use our eyes only to see something good, pleasant, and especially the divine form of the Lord. There's a discrimination in using the eyes, using this gate of the body. Similarly, ears, right? So, what does it mean to say that the ears are illuminated with knowledge? Not that some kind of Vedic sound vibrations will come from the ears or some light will come, effulgence will come, not that. We will choose to hear only wise words. We will make a conscious choice to hear only spiritual subject matters, positive subjects, good subjects, not materialistic topics, not some gossip, not some criticism. Kukathamate ghnihi. Similarly, nose, similarly, mouth. We will use our mouth only to speak the right words. We will use the mouth only to taste Krishna Prasadam, not taste any junk food, or not speak any foul language, right? So the tongue, the mouth is also used in a more illuminating manner. So that's what Sattva is. Sattva means all the nine gates of body are illuminated with knowledge. What about Tamoguna? लोभः प्रवृत्तिरारम्भः कर्मणाम् अशमः स्पृहा रजस्येतानि जायन्ते विवृद्धे भरतर्षभ. Lobha pravrittirarambha. When passion increases, you know what people do? Lobha, they become very greedy. Pravrittirarambha, they undertake serious fruitive activities, intense endeavors. Karmanam ashamaha sprha, intense hankering and ambition develops because when passion increases. So when goodness increases, we will use all the holes of the body wisely with knowledge. And when passion increases, we become very, very ambitious to get so many things. Similarly, when tamogun increases, what happens? Aprakasho pravrittischa pramado moha evacha तमस्येतानि जायन्ते विवृद्धे कुरु नन्दन. Aprakasho pravrittischa. Aprakasha means no illumination, only darkness. So what does it mean? Not that eyes are emanating some darkness, ears are emanating some darkness. Basically, we will use the ears to hear bad topics, dark topics, or we may use the eyes to see some bad visuals, right? So the ears and all the bodily senses are not working in a proper manner with right discretion. Aprakasha, darkness, inertia, apravritti. Apravritti means you are not active. You have a lot of inertia. You are very lazy. Pramada means madness. Moha means illusion. So all these bad qualities are manifested when ignorance increases, when tamogun increases. And when people are influenced by these modes, of course, everybody is influenced by all three modes in different proportions. Some people are prominently influenced by sattvagun. For example, we have Brahmanas. Brahmanas are those people who are predominantly influenced by sattvagun with rajogun and tamogun as secondary mode. They have some rajogun, tamogun, but very less. Prominently, they have sattvagun. Now, these Brahmanas are not designated by their birth. One who has taken birth in a Brahmana family need not be a Brahmana. Only those people who are predominantly in mode of goodness are called Brahmanas. Not just because they have taken birth in a family of Brahmanas, right? Similarly, we have uh, Kshatriyas. They're predominantly in passion, very active, but their goodness is secondary. And Vaishyas, they're predominantly passionate with Tamogun as a secondary mode. And Shudras are those who are predominantly ignorant, means they're in Tamogun with passion or Rajogun as a secondary mode. So that way we see that uh, even the Varnas also are in accordance with the Gunas. Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, Chaturvarnya maya srishtam guna karma vibhakashaha. Gunas decide Varnas also, not birth, definitely. And what is the destination of a person after death? Krishna speaks about the effects of these modes on people from 14th to 18th. I will summarize, I will not show so many shlokas. I am getting distracted by too many explanations. So I will summarize. 14th and 15th shlokas describe that when somebody is predominantly in goodness, they will attain higher planets like the great sages. Like there are top planets. What are they? Above Burbhuva Swaha, there is Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapoloka, Satyaloka. If somebody is in goodness, they will attain those planets. Higher planets where Brahma stays, Janaloka, like that. And passionate people, those who are in Rajogun, they take birth on the earthly planet and they're constantly engaged in fruitive activities. And ignorant people, those who are in Tamogun, they take birth in lower species, in the animal kingdom. They may become like snakes or foxes or any other ways. Then later Krishna speaks about the uh, results that people attain when they're influenced by Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva. If somebody is in Sattva, their activities and their results are nirmalam, pure. Sattvat sanjayate jnanam rajaso lobha eva cha pramadamोहौ tamaso bhavato jnanam eva cha. So, when somebody is in goodness, they will have purity, nirmalam, jnanam, knowledge. They can go to heavenly planets. They can go up to Brahmaloka. Urdham gachanti sattvastha, madhye tishtanti rajasaha. And passionate people, they are into misery, greed, and they stay in the earthly planet. And ignorant people, tamogani people, they are jaghanya ganavrittischa adhogachanti tamasaha. They go to lower hellish planets because they are constantly in ajnana. Pramada means madness and moha, illusion. They go to the lower planets. But is there a solution? How can we transcend the influence of these modes? We have seen in the last several shlokas how these three material modes influence us in various ways. But is there any solution? Yes, there is a solution. One can definitely transcend the three material modes and become gunatita. Uh, Gunatita means one who is beyond the three material gunas. Like Krishna spoke about Gunatita or a Mukta Purusha, even in the second chapter also. Sthita Prajna is a Gunatita. Let's read that part now. गुणानेतान् अतीत्यत्रीन् देहि देहसमुद्भवान् जन्म मृत्युजरा दुःखैर्विमुक्तो मृतमश्नुते गुणान् एतान् अतीत्यत्रीन्. One who surpasses the influence of three gunas, dehi deha samudbhavan. So that dehi, that living being who is embodied in a body, he can easily cross these three gunas and cross this janma, mrityu, jara, dukkha. Janma is birth, mrityu is death, jara is old age, dukkha is all kinds of miseries associated with this janma, mrityu. Vimukto amritamashnute, he will be relieved. Vimukta means he will be relieved. And amritamashnute, he will attain immortality, he will attain liberation. So one who transcends the three material modes can attain liberation. But how to transcend the three material modes? Krishna already said in the seventh chapter of Bhagavad Gita, दैवी ह्येषा गुणमयी मम माया दुरत्यय मामेव ये प्रपद्यन्ते मायामेतां तरन्ति ते. दैवी ह्येषा गुणमयी मम maya. Krishna's maya or prakriti is gunamayi, filled with the three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamo gunas. But to transcend these three gunas, to surpass the influence of these three gunas, what should we do? Mameva ye prapadyante. We should take shelter of Krishna. Same thing Krishna repeats in this chapter also. Krishna says in the 20th sloka, when one surpasses the material modes, he can become free from birth, death, old age, disease, everything. नान्यं गुणेभ्यः कर्तारं यदा द्रष्टानुपश्यति गुणेभ्यश्च परं वेत्ति मद्भावं सोऽधिगच्छति. One who transcends these three material modes can attain Krishna's spiritual existence. Madbhavam so adhigacchati. Madbhava means Puta Madbhava Magatah, Krishna said, right? And Madbhavam is Krishna's abode, Krishna's spiritual existence. Even if you don't go to Krishna's abode, you will have a consciousness which is in line with Krishna, spiritual consciousness. So such people are also Gunatita. Gunatita means one who transcended modes. One who has transcended modes need not be in the spiritual world only. Those who have transcended their modes, they can be in this material world also. While living in this material world filled with three modes, they are unaffected by the three modes. Just like while traveling in an ocean, you will not become wet when you are in a boat. So similarly, Gunatitas are like those people who are traveling in a strong boat in a huge ocean. Material world is an ocean of three material modes, but when we are practicing bhakti, when we are taking shelter of Krishna, we are traveling in a boat. यत्पादपङ्कजपलासविलासभक्त्या कर्माशयं ग्रथितमुद्ग्रथयन्ति सन्तः तद्वन्न रिक्तमतयो यतयोऽपि रुद्धः श्रोतो गणस्तमरणं भज वासुदेवम्. This shloka and the next shloka in Bhagavatam, I'll not elaborate, but just I remember this. They describe that the shlokas describe that Krishna's lotus feet are like boat, and the material existence is like an ocean. When we take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, we will those lotus feet will act like a boat that can take us across this material ocean. In fact, the boat of Krishna's lotus feet has some mystic power also. You know what is that? This boat has the power to condense the ocean, to make the ocean smaller. How small? As small as the impression made by a calf's hoof print. Samasritaye padapallavaplavam. Right? So, means once you enter the boat, the ocean becomes smaller. You don't have to travel also, the ocean becomes smaller. Similarly, when you take shelter of the boat of Krishna's lotus feet, the ocean of material modes will become smaller. Will not affect you, simple. But how to attain that madbhavam? How to attain that bhava of Krishna? Arjuna asks some questions. In the 21st sloka, Arjuna asks Krishna, Krishna, what are the symptoms of a gunatita? What is the behavior of a gunatita? What is the process of transcending the material modes and becoming a gunatita? These questions that Krishna asked in the 21st sloka are somewhat similar to his questions in the second chapter, Stha Prajna chapter. So in the 22nd shloka, Krishna says the symptoms of a gunatita. So let me just open that shloka. 22nd. 22nd. श्रीभगवानुवाच प्रकाशं च प्रवृत्तिं च मोहमेव च पाण्डव न द्वेष्टि सम्प्रवृत्तानि न निवृत्तानि काङ्क्षति. See, very beautiful shloka. Prakasham means illumination or knowledge, which is a product of sattvagun. Pravritti means intense endeavor, too much of effort, which is a product of rajogun. Moha means confusion, delusion, that is a product of tamogun, right? So three modes are here. So one who has actually transcended the modes does not hate these three things. Right? He does not hate prakasham, illumination, pravritti, attachment, and moham, delusion. He doesn't hate three. Na dveshti sampravrittani. Just because you have transcended the modes, that does not mean you hate the modes. You are neutral. You are unaffected by them. Mhm. It's like you may not like some food item. That does not mean you hate it. You don't hate. You don't have any hatred towards anything, but you prefer to stay aloof like that. Nadveshti sampravartani, nanivrittani kankshati. See, uh, this material world is manifested by the three modes. And these three modes bind the conditioned soul. But a liberated soul who is gunatita, he is he is not under the influence of this bondage of the three modes. At the same time, he doesn't hate the material world which is manifested by three modes. He's unaffected by the material world around him, but he's not hating the material world also. Right? He doesn't hate. Why should he hate? This material world has so many things that can be utilized in Krishna's service. Why should I hate it? If I become attached to it, I'll be entangled. I understand that. But I can utilize these products in Krishna's seva. So I should not hate it. So money is there. If you become attached to money, then that material wealth will bind us. But if we use that money in Krishna's seva, it will not bind us. Right? So Vishwam Purna Sukhayate Vidhimahendradischa Kitayate Yat Karunya Kataksha Vaibhavatam Tam Gauramevastumah Vishwam Purna Sukhayate. For a devotee, this Vishwam, this material universe, is filled with Purna Sukha, complete happiness. Uh, this material world is Dukkhalema Shashvatam. Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, this material world is Dukkhalema Shashvatam. How can a devotee perceive it as Purna Sukhayate? Yeah, that's a consciousness. Whether something is good or bad depends on your consciousness. Whether somebody is entangling or not depends on your consciousness. So, devotee develops the divine consciousness and sees everything as energy of Krishna. For him, there is no difference between material life and spiritual life. There is no difference between material world and spiritual world. There is no difference between material energy and spiritual energy for a devotee, because he uses all material energy in the service of the spiritual Lord, and thus he spiritualizes matter. Matter is spiritualized. Now this laptop is there. It's matter, pure matter. Wi-Fi, matter. But we are utilizing it to discuss Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, this laptop is spiritualized, and and the Zoom is spiritualized. So whatever material things we are using, objects, mouse is spiritualized. Everything is spiritualized. Next, 23rd sloka. उदासीनवदासीनो गुणैर्यो न विचाल्यते गुणावर्तन्त इत्येवं योऽवतिष्ठति नेङ्गते समदुःखसुखः सत्त्वः स्वस्थः समलोष्ट्रास्मकाञ्चनः तुल्यप्रिया प्रियो धीरः तुल्यनिन्दात्मसंस्तुतिः. Now Arjuna asked three questions, right? What are the symptoms by which we know that someone is gunatita? Krishna answered in the previous shloka. What are the symptoms of a person? Characteristics of a person? He doesn't hate illumination. He doesn't hate attachment or delusion. He's aloof. He's unaffected by them. At the same time, he doesn't hate them. He's unaffected by gunas, but he doesn't hate the material world manifested by the gunas. We have seen that. Then second question Arjuna asked was, what is the behavior of such a person? How does he act? So Krishna answers this. His acting is neutral. Udasina vadasino. Udasina means he's neutral, unaffected. Gunairyo navichalyate. He is not shaken up by the gunas. Somebody is in mode of goodness. When he sees something in ignorance, he becomes very disgusted. You're in goodness. Say you happen to pass on the market where some dead bodies are hanging like this. People hang the dead bodies of animals, right? The meat shop people, right? So when somebody is in mode of goodness, he passes through that place, he feels little uncomfortable, disgusted. He closes eyes or closes his nose and then somehow manages to pass through that area, and then they're kind of relieved. But those who are in Tamogun, they are very much attached to it. They go there. Oh wow, this is the best place. As soon as they see those dead bodies hanging, they get ecstasy, right? Because of the internal mode and external mode are matching. There is mode of ignorance inside them, and there is ignorance in the place also, they become excited. So, but a Gunatita, whether he passes through filthy places or clean places, good places or bad places, whether he interacts with good people or bad people, Satogani people or Tamogani people, he is unaffected. He is equipoised. It's like Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shuni Chaiva Swapake Cha Panditaha Samadarshinaha. So Panditaha Samadarshinaha, he is equipoised towards everything. I think I'm going too slow. गुणा वर्तन्त इत्येवं योवतिष्ठति निङ्गते समदुःखसुखः स्वस्थः. He is equal towards happiness and distress. Tulya priya priyo. He is not like that he has some favorite things and he hates some things. Samaloshtrasma kanchanaha. Whether you give him some stone or gold or some other material object, he sees all of them equally. Samaloshtrasma kanchanaha. Right? He sees a lump of earth, stone and gold as same. Tulya priya priyo. He is equal towards dear and not so dear. So like that. Uh, and there are more shlokas also. Tulya nindatma samstutihi means somebody may praise him, somebody may criticize him, but he is equal. Manapamanayohu tulyaha. He may get respect sometimes, he may get disrespect sometimes. Honor and dishonor, he sees them equally. Tulyo mitrari pakshayo. Mitra means friend. Aripaksha means enemy. He sees both of them equally. And Sarvarambha Parityagi, he renounces all material activities. This is the nature of someone who is who is not under the influence of material modes. Now, let's go to the shloka where Krishna answers the third question of Arjuna. What was the third question? How to become a Gunatita? How to transcend the material modes? What is the process of attaining these qualities that you have described? Answer is Mam cha yo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Mam cha yo avyabhicharena bhakti. Avyabhicharena bhakti means unalloyed devotion, ananya bhakti. Sagunan samatityaitan, such a person who performs pure bhakti, unalloyed bhakti, he transcends the material mode. Sagunan samatityaitan. And Brahma bhuyaya kalpate, he comes to a spiritual platform. So we can come to spiritual platform by transcending the material modes by taking to bhakti yoga. What kind of bhakti yoga? Not motivated bhakti. This is avyabhicharani bhakti, means unmotivated bhakti. Not sakama bhakti, but nishkama bhakti, ananya bhakti, shuddha bhakti, uttama bhakti, pavitra bhakti, and avyabhicharani bhakti. Right? By that we can transcend the material modes. Then 27th shloka. You can come to spiritual platform, right? Brahman platform. Brahman platform is spiritual platform. And Krishna is the source of that spiritual platform. Brahmano hi pratisthaham amritasya avyayasya cha shashvatasya cha dharmasya sukhasya ekantikasya cha. Brahmano hi pratisthaham, I am the pratishtha, or I am the basis of Brahman. And amritasya avyayasya cha. That Brahman platform. See, you can see that Brahman as spiritual platform. You can also see that Brahman as the Brahma Jyoti, impersonal Brahman. I'll come to this, but let me complete the qualities of Brahman. That Brahman is Amrita, means immortal. Avyaya, imperishable. Shashvata, eternal. Shashvatasya dharmasya means eternally all of us are spiritual in nature. Sukhasya aikantikasya cha. That's the source of ultimate happiness. So Krishna is the source of that Brahman. Now, coming to this chapter and the context. See, in this chapter, Krishna is talking about someone who has transcended the modes. Devotees transcend the modes. Daivi hesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mamayo prapadyante. Those who are practicing pure devotional service, Ananya Bhakti, can definitely transcend the modes. But those who may not practice Bhakti, those who are doing some Jnana Yoga also, they can also transcend material modes. So they rise above the influence of the material modes. But the aim is not just to uh, be unaffected by the material modes, but the actual aim is to attain Krishna, Madbhava, attaining Krishna. So those who manage to come to goodness, and take off from goodness also. They can come to spiritual platform of Brahman platform, spiritual platform of entering into Brahma Jyoti of the Lord, which is definitely good. But there is no activity there. So entering Brahma Jyoti, which is spiritual, that's attaining a spiritual platform, but what will they do there? Therefore, so many pure devotees in the Bhagavatam, they rejected that entrance into Brahma Jyoti. They rejected Sahajya Mukti. Hmm. Although it is spiritual, Krishna's effulgence is also spiritual. Attaining spiritual effulgence of Krishna is liberation, is transcending the modes, transcending the material world, transcending the cycle of birth and death. That's a spiritual platform, but still, devotees want something higher than that, not just merging into impersonal Sayujya Mukti. They want the eternal association of Krishna. They want service of Krishna, right? So we need to go beyond also. We will see all that in the later chapters. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.